Welcome back to Midday. We are talking about the winter film series. Of course, we have Terry-Ann Wilson joining us. Nice to have you back, Terry-Ann. And we've got Dushan joining us as well. Thanks for being here, Dushan.
Thank you.
Just wondering, first of all, right off the bat about the winter film series. We talked to you, of course, in the fall, Terry-Ann, a lot about that fall film series, which was quite spectacular. What's the lineup like this time, Dushan, and what makes the winter series so different?
Well, I mean, as far as programming, it's not to be too different. I mean, obviously the fall has 10 films, but we had a record-setting fall, so we're very excited for our winter. And, you know, we try and have a little bit of everything, a little bit of international, a little bit of lighter fare, some stuff that's a little bit more darker in subject matter. And I think we've achieved that with this lineup, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
How many films in the winter series?
6.
So a little bit less than the fall. Okay, so the first one to kick off this week is called The Bookshop.
Yes.
Let me ask you, Terry-Ann, what this is really about.
This is a really heartwarming film set in the 1950s, directed by Isabelle Coichet, and it has Emily Mortimer in it, Bill Nye, and Patricia Clarkson. And this is a movie. This is a movie for dreamers. I think this is a movie for anyone who's creative, who has ever tried to do something special with a really kind heart and a positive outlook, but has had somebody in the establishment with their own ideas about how they want to do things come along and try to pollute that person's dreams a little.
Right.
Yeah.
So essentially, I just read a little bit about the bookshop. This woman wants to open up a bookshop, right, in a kind of a quiet town, but gets a lot of fireworks and sort of pushback is the word I was looking for from the locals, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, before we go any further, let's give people a sneak peek on the bookshop.
When we read a story, we inhabit it. She, more than anything else in the world, loved the moment when you finished a book and the story keeps playing like the most vivid dream in your head.
You live on your own, don't you? You've just moved into the old house.
Yes, I'm the one opening the little bookshop.
Many of us are not at all convinced by the sudden transformation of the old house into a shop. You do understand, don't you?
Dear madam, no one has plucked up courage enough to sell books in this forsaken coin of the world.
My first customer. He so jealously guards his privacy after the tragic death of his beloved wife.
You can't run this place by yourself.
You don't really look old enough or strong enough.
You look old, but you don't look strong.
Things have taken quite a dip in your business of late, haven't they?
She was a very powerful woman. Does that not concern you?
No.
Many of us believe it should be a local art centre.
She wants to get rid of you and she won't stop.
She can't do that. It's my bookshop. It's my home.
Leave her alone. The woman's done nothing to you.
You mustn't speak to me that way.
I could just put a bullet through her.
There's a possible buyer for your shop.
The shop is not for sale. Jory, you have to succeed if you give everything you have.
I've only done what I felt was right.
You make me believe once more in things I thought forgotten.
Well, there's life, there's hope.
God, what a horrifying thought.
That looks so good. That is fantastic. So that really gives you an idea of sort of what she goes through to open up this shop, right?
Yes, and also just from an artistic standpoint too, you know, you're sort of seeing the style of this filmmaker and her adaptation. Book adaptations are always really interesting to watch, to see how they've been fitted for the screen. And I find films like this very transportative, you know, the little teacup and the beautiful books, and it really is a bit of a time warp, a film like this.
Yeah. Dushan, you were mentioning that you had a successful fall film series. You know, these are being very well received, I think, every year, and you can just tell by all the different movies or films that you have, they're phenomenal. A lot of people show up, do they not?
Yeah, well, we work really hard to program movies that are going to get people out, and then, you know, also movies that are going to challenge people a little bit. So again, you want to have that mix. But I think bringing out the passes, as we did in the fall, and we have them again for the winter series as well, has been huge, because people are just committing. They're buying that pass, and they know they're coming to all 6 films or 3 of the films, and then they just put it into their plan, right? And then they attract other people. So I think that's been a huge help as well.
Are those passes sold out, or are we still?
No, we've got some available. They're selling well, but we do have some available. We added some more to the 6 film ones because it was almost sold out. So we kicked it up a notch. But yeah, if you go to our website, kamloopsfilmseries.ca, you can get them from there.
And how do you mentioned you've got all different, you know, genres of films, but how do you pick, though? How do you pick? That must be so difficult.
Yeah, it gets, so we start with a big list of, you know, hundreds of films, and we get input from our committee, and then we kind of narrow it down, and then depending on what's available and what we can get, there's a lot of, there's actually a lot to it, why we can't get certain films and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, and then once we have kind of a smaller list, we kind of look at, you know, what's going to make a really good mix, and what are people going to be interested in.
Yeah, this one looks really good. It's a good one to start the series off, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. And starting with a drama, I mean, how can you go wrong there?
And we also have a special event with this one too. We'll have the Kamloops Public Library joining us in the lobby. They're going to be set up with books related to the film, even books that in some cases have been banned to start dialogue. And also they will be there apparently with the technology if you want to bring your library card and sign out books right there.
Oh, wow.
In the lobby.
I believe you can even get a library card with them. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that you can. If you don't have one, you can get one right there. So a little bit of a bookshop in the lobby of the theater.
I like that. So. That's so neat. Yeah. That's great. That fits so perfectly. Perfect. All right. Well, there you go. The Bookshop. There's the lovely poster. This looks like a phenomenal film. If you'd like to see this, of course, it will be playing on Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Paramount Theatre. Make sure you get your tickets. There's more information there at kamloopsfilmseries.ca. We're back in a couple of minutes with Roxana Ferguson, who's going to take us through some of the best travel deals. Stay with us.